Llama School. That's where you masturbate.
Hello and welcome to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 135 for the 14th of December 2017, broadcasting from Llama School. You can email us at Cosmicgodsdie at gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brothers, and Twitter, as always, SwineBros666. Not that I ever checked Twitter.
Yeah, I'm
I am,
bad on that.
I am your host, Elliot Lindemood.
I am the Jim, the seeing eye mutant, and I am overjoyed.
Why are you overjoyed today?
Because we're banned in 28 countries.
I
Granted, it's one video right now, and if you go in there in the US, or I assume anywhere that it's not banned, you'll get the huge parental advisory things stating, "Oh my God, this is offensive content. Do you want any of this?"
You can also get it on proxies. It's banned in Austria, Bulgaria, Italy, France, Germany. I think it is Romania, the UK, Italy, some countries I've never heard of.
Yep, other
Uh,
countries. That was good just hearing that.
we're banned in Romania. Dracula hates us.
Yeah. And Chaz just, banned himself.
He can't. Yeah, but yeah, banned in the UK. Banned in the UK. So Chaz can't actually watch his own performance. It's
Nah,
episode 103 if you're interested. Flat Earth, was it Flat Earth, Incest, and hashtag Black Lives Matter is the title of it.
and it's not going to show up in any searches now. We got to direct link it. Probably put it in the description.
Yes, but I'm just saying, I watched it and I didn't think it was that offensive. I mean,
It's nowhere near unusual. I'm going to fucking hack into the Pentagon and nuke you, California, just to kill you.
that would be. I mean, I don't think that was the one where Chaz made an ape joke. Hashtag Black Lives Matter.
No, I don't think it was that one.
It's
There was
way
other ones
worse.
he did.
And what pisses me off about this is that you can't share it, comment, and there's no suggested videos, even if you want to watch it. It's just
Well,
we're
that's what happens.
we're subtly banned without actually being banned.
Yay. It's called limited state. Learn to love it, because it's going to keep happening now. They got human eyes looking at this shit.
Oh god, it's just I wonder what the incest and Black Lives Matter. We can't have this.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get on with this show.
Okay.
From our favorite kicking dog, Metal Sucks.
Yep.
Let's talk about Billy, the metalhead asshole of Stranger Things Season 2, a show I have never seen and know nothing about.
Stranger Things is a show that everyone talks about. I've seen it. It would be good if I had eyes.
I've never seen it. And it just does TV doesn't appeal to me. I
It's
don't
on
want
Netflix, so internet TV. So it's a little more like interesting than your average TV show, but I need eyes to interest me.
uh, to try and avoid the hype and social media insanity. I waited until earlier this month to finally watch the second season of Stranger Things. And man, did it deliver. Full of heartfelt drama, well utilized special effects, Lovecraftian horror, and some of the greatest acting I've ever seen. From kids, no less. Noah Schnapp, you are the fucking man. I have no idea.
Me neither.
This season of the hit Netflix series scratched all the itches that the first one did, and then some. Must be nice to have money to afford that shit.
Oh, I just get it on torrent like everyone. I mean that when I because I watched the first season on a torrent because everyone was fucking talking about it. So I spent nothing on it. I'm a cheap bastard.
Everyone was talking about it, and I just ignored them and went on to the things that looked like it interested me.
Well, they were people I actually like, trust their opinion. So it was like, okay,
Mm. I was impressed across the board. Good for you. Except, of course, for the show's need to include a heavy metal asshole. What's wrong
that
with
that
that?
that should have been the title of this show. Fuck the Swine Brothers. It should be called the Heavy Metal Asshole Show.
Yeah,
Is
really.
it too late to change?
Yes, just like their role model Stephen King did for the bullies in it. Stranger Things creators, the Duffer Brothers, felt the need to make Billy, the drunk, psychotic, sadistic new kid in town, a heavy metal fan as well. Good. Sounds like someone I
It
could
sounds
get
like
along
someone I
with.
hung out with.
Yeah, I know. Drunk, psychotic, sadistic asshole.
Yeah, it sounds like. I mean, okay, I grant you, not all metalheads are that. In fact, most metalheads are fairly normal, sane people who are revolted at the things that I say.
Yes, that is sad.
You think what? Oh, dude, you listen to Slam Death. Yeah, but oh.
It's always a wake up call when they have to actually encounter the deviant ideas. Mm. They finally chose to involve metal in the 1980s nostalgia verse of Stranger Things. And in keeping with the cliches of old, it's music loved by pieces of shit. Aw, I'm a piece of shit.
Well, that's
Good.
why I liked metal, because it did appeal to people like me who would sit and crucify Buzz Lightyear for no reason as a
Yeah,
kid.
like, we fucking broke out the napalm for our G.I. Joes and ended up setting half my friend's lawn on fire because he thought he could put out the fire with more gasoline.
I know what could put out the fire.
And then when it traced up to the lid and started melting the plastic on the nozzle, he started trying to pour it out to try to turn it off there. It just left these huge fireballs all across his lawn. And the worst part was he didn't clean the yard of all the dog shit yet, so he had flaming dog shit on top of it.
Flaming dog shit. That describes this world.
Yes, it does. And this is childhood before I even got into metal. For those of you who haven't seen this season, let me introduce you to Billy. Billy loves lifting weights, smoking cigarettes. I love smoking cigarettes. Lifting
I've
weights, I
never
did that
listened.
when I was a kid.
Hey, I never did. I was too busy eating chips. Fat bastard for life.
Lifting while smoking cigarettes. Oh, I've done that. Driving his muscle car. I never drove a
Woo.
muscle car.
I like muscle cars.
You go ahead and like them. I mean, my one buddy, Bob, he had a hard on for the, what was it, 69 Chevy Challenger or something. Whatever the fucking Dukes of Hazzard car was.
Dodge Charger, the '69 Charger, one of my favorite cars.
There we go. See how much I know cars?
The Chevy Challenger.
I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. I was just picking up names that sounded like that could be it. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
So, people, if you have watched the Scott and I comment on races thing, you see why Scott's the one who comments on races.
Exactly. And tormenting his little sister Maxine. Like when I took my little sister, put her in a garbage can and threw her down the steps. But she did return the favor several times
Hey,
while I was sleeping.
I long to torture my big sister. She deserves it.
Some of his other pastimes include drinking games. Circle of Death.
I played a drinking game. It's called you see something in front of you, drink it. Who cares what it is?
Circle of Death was you match the card and you drink that much. And it goes much better whenever you have 3 half gallons in front of you. Just you, everyone gets 3 half gallons, and whoever lives, lives. You can duck out of the game any time, but if you're not a coward, you keep going until you pass out drooling on yourself in the middle of the damn floor. Or die. No one died, but that was a distinct possibility, hence why the game was called Circle of Death.
Yes, I'm surprised no one died.
Running down children in his car. that I didn't do. I mean, I would jump out in front of cars while they were driving past just to fucking make them skid out and see if they'd wreck while I was running away from them because I didn't want the guy driving the car to catch up with me.
My friends never ran down children. They did mash the gas, whenever they drive by them just to hear them scream. Sort of like,
And,
I can kill you.
and I also lit bottle rockets at cars.
Like, where's a bottle
Oh, they were
rocket at it?
driving right for me. So it's like they just hear this sound, see this spark coming right towards them, then the pop, and they swerve to miss it because they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Oh my god!
And there was that one time we rolled like a few tires down this huge hill into the fucking main main road going through town. It's Route 130, so there's a lot of traffic at this time of day, and we're just rolling tires down a hill straight across the road.
Oh, Puke told me a story where he made a sort of a barrel out of tires and cable, and they would put kids in the thing and roll them down the busy street. And sometimes they would push them really hard, and they would jump the curb and go into the water, into the river.
I've done some bridge jumping, but I haven't done it that way. That sounds like fun.
Yes, I'm surprised no one died.
Yeah, once again. Engaging in homoerotic basketball feuds with other boys. Well, we didn't do it homoerotically. We played what we called arch rivals basketball, which is just pretty much you beat the shit out of someone until you get the ball, and then you dribble it down the court. If you miss the dribbling, everyone, including your own team, has to gank you.
Yeah, but they see everything sports as homoerotic, so.
Yeah.
Race car driving is somehow homoerotic.
And of course, listening to popular heavy metal tunes. Yeah, there's some shit I listen to that's popular, but if all you do is listen to the popular shit, you're missing out on so much really good shit.
I don't know how popular Screwdriver is. That's what I'm listening to at the moment.
That's punk, though.
It's not. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not metal, but I'm just saying. I mean, I listen to probably more popular bands than you do, just because I have one foot in the power metal. Okay, both feet in the power metal thing. But yeah, I listen to Maiden, Priest, Slayer, fucking all those bands. But I also listen to Crucifier, which is a obscure band I didn't even know existed until I added someone because we had a lot of mutual friends and just, oh, he seems cool. Hey, it turns out he's in a pretty legendary band I didn't even know existed.
Which is fucking awesome. So you sent me a link to that shit. I'm like, oh, that's really good shit.
Yep.
But wait. Later, we discover that it's not Billy's fault that he's a horrible asshole who likes metal.
It was my fault. I mean, I didn't really choose to be one, but it wasn't because I was like fucked up the ass or something.
Because he's got, wait for it, a prick dad. Oh, I had a prick dad, but guess what? He wasn't the reason I would turn out the way I did. I turned out the way I did because I made choices. I had enough control over my own life that I became an asshole and decided to. And then I even had a chance to back out of it several times. Then I found out, you know what? It's just much better to be the asshole.
I had a chance to back out of it.
So it is my fault. Fuck you for trying to fucking say, it's not his fault because he had a prick dad. I had a prick dad and I chose this. Fuck you.
I didn't really have a prick dad. We were just never really close. I had a choice to back out of it about 5 years ago. I tried not giving up metal, but I did try going more straight and being normal. And I realized pretty quickly that, wow, I'm utterly miserable now.
Yeah, I was too.
So I
just went back to being an asshole, and I am much happier.
It did.
A bit of suffering happens here and there, but that's life.
It took me about 2.5 years to wake up from the fog. I mean, to the point where from about halfway 2012 through about 2015, early part 2015, the only thing I really remember about my life is the races I went to. I mean, I can't remember what I did pretty much it was in agony. And then I don't know, February 2015, just woke up. And then I met you, and I was like, oh fuck, I want to go back to sleep.
Exactly. You need to go back to sleep. I'll just put you to sleep with the very power you've awakened.
Yay.
Yes, Billy's dad is a violent shithead who slaps him around, so
I got slapped around several times.
And calls him a fag. My dad never did call me a fag. All my classmates called me a fag because I was sexually molested at the age of 7, but my dad never called me a fag.
About being slapped around, I mean, I like it when girls do it. And about the whole fag thing, well, I was called gay when I was like in middle school because I never had any interest in girls because I was like, I don't know, just didn't care. And I was just like, yeah, well, I don't care. And then in high school, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not asexual.
Which is meant to serve as a window into his love of pumping iron to Rat. Rat
actually, well, okay. I'm going to justify this by saying Rat was metal for about 10 minutes. They actually had two good songs on the Metal Massacre 1 compilation. Unfortunately, that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the glam period. I always thought Rat was actually kind of a waste of talent. I mean, the first 2 songs and like the first EP before they went fucking mainstream were actually pretty good heavy metal. And then they smelled the hairspray, sort of like Def Leppard did, and fuck.
Yeah, I gotta get high off them fumes.
Well, and gotta get American pussy.
Basically, what you're left with is Judd Nelson's character from The Breakfast Club, only more violent, less eloquent, and blonde. Why not just turn him into a complete Beavis? Just start setting fire to random things and doing all kinds of drugs to just go.
I kind of figured he'd be a glammant.
To be fair, Stranger Things thrives on these sort of cliches.
It's not even fair to call him a metalhead. Call him a glam metal person, but metalhead. I mean, when someone says metalhead, I have and I know I shouldn't. I know I should realize what they mean, but I still have this image in my head of death metal and thrash metal when someone says metalhead.
No, we're talking about made for TV.
And you know, I like it because it actually does kind of force people to go, wait, huh? Whatever I say. Because this random person will be like, oh, I like some of the heavier music. And I'll be like, oh, you mean like Arch Goat? And they'll be like, scary.
See, what I want to do is a metal sitcom, something called maybe like, Metalheads Unleashed. And like, I had the idea for the pilot myself, where they go out there, they do this shit, and the main arc of the story is they decide this old church, is being sold. So they decide that they're going to do some crowdfunding to buy it. And there's ideas being thrown around. They're going to turn it into a concert hall or, skate arena or whatever, crazy shit going on. At the end of the episode, the guy that got all the crowdfunding, they go up there, they're celebrating, they're getting drunk, and the first thing he does is throw a fucking firebomb right into the place. I own it. They can't put me in jail for burning this church down.
I like that. I was actually wondering if you were gonna go with that. I can read your mind, motherfucker.
This show doesn't. See, that's a cliche that is actually funny.
Yes.
The show doesn't seem like it's taking the 1980s at face value with murder.
Most glam people I knew were, I mean, granted this is 2010, not 1984. Most glam people I knew were exactly like, well, actually, they were too much wimps to actually be like violent. They were just like, we're so hardcore, we listen to Poison. I'm just like, yeah, Poison. Yeah. You know what? Maybe you're hardcore because you listen to Poison, the German black thrash band.
Please don't pervert my mind. Yeah.
Yes, so somebody actually, because I was supposed to DJ something, and somebody said, "Well, do you have any Poison?" I was like, "Oh yeah, yes, I have Poison." So I played them I think it was called "Down into the Depths" album by the German band Poison. Ah!
Good. They deserve it.
Cleared the room.
But instead presenting a hyper-emphasized cinematic version of the decade.
Well, yeah, it's a fucking TV show.
Yeah, it's a TV show, and guess what? That's when the satanic ritual abuse panic was going on. That was a glorious time. Do you know how many jobs that has cost me? Just the rumors of being the satanic baby killer. It's glorious. And all I
And
did
you're
was...
neither of those.
But at least it got the bullies to stay the fuck away from me because they're like, oh my God, if he kills me, I'm going to hell.
Which is interesting because I wasn't really an out and out Satanist until later, but people thought I was a Satanist and they chose that as a pretext to beat the crap out of the blind kid.
What I thought was funny was the fact they said I was a Satanist and I never was, but
Yeah.
I never fucking corrected them because it kept them from taking a baseball bat to my head because I knew how to play the fear.
Yeah, and now I am, and people are actually afraid. Like relatives are actually afraid of me.
Good.
Which is good. I don't have to see them.
In some ways, this manifests itself surprisingly well. For example, psychic female preteen 11 is constantly being helped by schlubby dudes who an edgier director with a 1990s streak would have made depraved child rapists. And I appreciate that lack of trying to be tough and gritty. I like that the Duffers are showing their own version of an 80s that maybe never really existed.
See, I'm hyper realistic. I would show the fucking 80s. I'd show fucking like they go to like this basement and there's just like 100 skate rats moshing to hardcore punk and the cops come and bust some heads.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 80s I'd show. Or, metalhead, metal show like Metallica were talking when they went on their Kill 'Em All tour with Raven and they went to fucking like shit town, Arkansas, and they played for like some flies.
Yeah. That's usually the way it was too. You had like 3 people show up. Ooh, wow.
And I mean,
2 of them were girlfriends to one of the band members.
Yep. In some of the big cities, they get 200 or 300 people, but like I said, they played like Arkansas. Who's gonna show up in Arkansas in 1983 that likes thrash metal?
I know. What sticks in my craw is that the show's creators obviously loved the music of the time, from Cyndi Lauper to Devo.
Oh, sorry. Just sorry.
Yeah, split personalities detract.
Oh God.
And as such, their use of metal as the asshole bullies music feels uninspired, lazy, and lame. Technically, I agree with that assessment, but I fucking hate the person writing this article.
Well, see, I would use.
They're taking the pretentious fucking route about it, as if something needs defended instead of embrace it.
Yes, I would use black metal as like a music.
See, that way you can keep the normies away, crush their dreams instantly, make them just go off and fucking be fucking pop stars without fucking infecting the scene with your garbage.
See, I'm openly like I would definitely use black metal as like the music for fucking satanic rituals and murders. Which I mean, we did whenever we were in satanic rituals. Always had black metal on, as it should be.
This is in direct opposition to punk, which is used throughout the show as the music of nuanced rebels.
If you think Devo's punk, oh my God.
Yeah. Such as Pervy Loner Jonathan, who loves The Clash.
The Clash was dead in the fucking 80s. They were a disco band. They were fucking Rock the Casbah and shit. And it's funny because you listen to like the hardcore punk people and they're like, yeah, we didn't ever like The Clash even when we were supposed to because they just weren't heavy enough. Like, because, so yeah, that really, The Clash is the best. See, I've always wanted to just, I don't know if you ever, well, you've probably never seen it was kind of a stupid show. It was called Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. It was kind of a stupid show. but it had like Municipal Waste and Guar and Anvil in it. Like it was actually, oh, these people actually know their metal.
Good. Oh, The Clash. House band of fictional characters who are meant to be outsiders but need to be presentable in a working class sort of way.
It's funny because a lot of the punks I knew were there were two schools. There was the sort of hippie anarchist punks who we hated but we liked the music, and then there were the G.G. Allen punks
The
who
G.G. Allen punk's so much fun.
blended with metalheads a little bit more than punks, but they were the ones we liked. The anarchist ones, I thought they were just too idealistic, too much like, oh, we can all get together. But hey, they make good music, so it's kind of like people don't understand when I say, well, I don't like anarchist, beliefs, but I like the music. Same with Nazi. People are like, that's different. It's like, not really. Both are fucking idealistic. It'll never happen.
Idealistic morons that have no concept of what reality is.
But make good music.
Yeah, occasionally.
Oh, that's good.
Like, well, most pop culture historians, the Duffers obviously consider punk to be real weirdo music because it involved haircuts and military jackets.
It is funny though when people talk about punk, they go from the Sex Pistols to Nirvana. Nothing happened from the Sex Pistols to Nirvana. Like hardcore punk, the shit I like, never happened. Because it was like a couple bands got signed after like dumbing down their sound, but you were never going to sign guys who can barely play their instruments, playing three chords, talking about killing people.
I'm infected with AIDS, and I fuck everything, and
Yes.
I kill everything I fuck.
God, if I ever had AIDS, I just fucking
Now it's legal where you're at.
yay. I don't give a shit if it's legal. I'm dying. I'm going to die. I don't give a shit. I've always said if there's like a terminal illness, if I ever get like, you have cancer and you'll be dead in 6 months. Sweet.
While metal is just the musical standard of the deranged metal alpha male. Well, I'm deranged. I wouldn't consider myself an alpha male.
Well, back in the now you had the glam metal scene was mainstream and they hated the punks, which were and the sort of the heavy metal thrash metal was in another camp. They both hated and liked punks, but you had two sides. You had sort of the glam hairspray people and the punks, and then the underground metal, which was dissed by the glam people. They started cross pollinating with punks and became the thrash SOD or whatever's sort of a punk metal thing. So you had, yes, glam metal at the time was the music for the mainstream asshole. Was or should I say it was the music for the mainstream person that thought they were underground because they listened to shit with guitar solos.
The most disappointing part is that they almost did something interesting with Billy's musical development. Billy's first appearance is soundtracked by the Scorpions, Rock You Like a Hurricane.
I have never liked the Scorpions. I've tried the Scorpions many times, and I can't get into them.
Understandable. While later he's listening to Rats Round and Round. Pain. Finally, at the end of the season, he's blasting Metallica's The Four Horsemen. Mechanics is better.
Well, but still, that's much better. So you can see he's getting into sort of the glam rock, hard rock, what everyone else hears, and then let's hear so, and that's natural musical development. I mean, I got into metal via the fucking Black Album and Slipcock.
Yeah.
And then later on, it was like, see, the funny thing is, I know people who will defend the Black Album or Slipknot as far as like nostalgia or whatever. I can't even listen to them nostalgically because it's just like, oh.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, the Black Album was one of the albums that got me into metal. I can't listen to it.
I still say I would have found metal anyway.
Probably. This suggests the actual progression in terms of 1980s metal fandom. going from new wave of British heavy metal to hair metal to thrash.
Scorpions is hard rock, not new wave of British heavy metal, and they're German. Fuck off.
But it feels incredibly incidental. It's not even made clear that Billy likes metal. He never rocks out to it or talks about it, or how great bands are. It's just on in the background when he's being a cock sneeze.
Well, I actually, I mean, I only headbang at sometimes. Like right now, I'm listening to Blind Guardian and not headbanging. Actually, Scott wanted to listen to the Overkill song by the band Overkill, and I was like, that song just makes my head move, and to the point where the next day my neck was totally sore. As far as talking about it, I'd never talk about metal.
Yeah.
Never.
Even worse, when Spotify made Billy's playlist, it was called Pedal to the Metal and then featured top 40s hair metal anthems and shitty modern indie rock that's supposed to be tough, described by the streaming service as 80s hair metal and aggro rock paired best with after school beatdowns, road rage, and mullets. Go fuck yourselves. No. And the problem is the music they picked isn't paired well with that.
See, mullets maybe.
Mullets, yeah, definitely mullets. But
When I think of road rage, I think of like "Accepts Fast as a Shark." I mean, that song just makes me want to. Or Motorhead's "Overkill," or Bulldozer's "Fallen Angel." You know, those songs are speedy and they just make me want to get into a guard, fucking. And as far as after school beatdowns, what could be better than? Oh, I don't know. Cannibal Corpse.
if there's a new way, I'll be the first in line. It better work this time. Oh, Kill Frenzy's coming. Better hurry up and finish this mission before it comes on, or else everyone's going to die.
Or Rattlehead by Megadeth is a good road rage song.
Yes, it is.
Because it's just, but yeah. So basically, I've always wanted to be the guy who picks music for shows. I don't know, the fucking researcher or talent scout, because I could fix that problem within 30 seconds. You know how big my hard drive is.
Yeah.
You know the shit I have. Oh, you want 1980s? Okay, how about Death's Infernal Death demo from '86? How about Possessed Seven Churches or Necrophagia's Death is Fun demo? Or More of an Angel's Abominations of Desolation? Yeah, okay.
Look, at the end of the day, this is an incidental slight against metal. Why are you taking this so personally? It's a fucking TV show.
If you want slights against metal, I have people who I am close to who think my music is like horrible.
Yeah, that's a slight against metal. Fucking kill them. Kill them all. Kill them all for Satan.
Kill them all for Satan.
And one that we've all blown off or chuckled at a million times before. Why aren't you?
I mean, I used to be offended by, oh my god, there's metalheads are assholes, and then do I care? No.
Fuck you, I'd rather be the asshole. I enjoyed Stranger Things 2 despite this character, and I'll definitely watch season 3. I'm still disinterested.
I hope they make the character into like some like cold-blooded murderer who like walks around listening to Cannibal Corpse and like they think they know who I am. Stab, stab. All they know is I love to kill.
There we go. Seatbelt it and save his life at Tor and two.
Because I've had debates about people, people who are trying to cleanse metal and nobody ever takes the lyrics seriously and no, I don't think listening to Cannibal Corpse will make you kill someone, but it definitely, I've had these thoughts many times.
I've had thoughts of just going out and slaughtering people. The thing that's kept me away is jail time. And sometimes it was someone I liked, so I didn't want to kill someone I liked. I had to sit
that in metal maybe channel it into a more creative thing. Well, let's see what these thoughts are. Let's write them down and make them into a song.
And that's another thing, because that stopped me from going on a rampage in high school, listening to fucking sweating bullets, because I was about to fucking light up the whole school and kill myself in a blaze of fucking unholy glory, using everything I learned in building maintenance class, chemistry, and a few other, and the fucking civics class, which told me how to get into the bomb shelter, which let me know how to fucking rig up the damn fucking everything to take out the foundation of the place, so the whole thing would crumble in, and I knew where the gas valve was, so the whole place would be on fire.
As long as
Yeah.
it actually worked, not like the Columbine. When I first got into like death, I thought that was the most awesome thing ever, and then I was like, wait, everything was really crude, and their bombs never went off, and
Dude, I would have homemade my shit much better, because I knew how to break into the fucking chemistry lab, and I had notes on how to make explosives.
they downloaded the Anarchist Cookbook online.
That's like, okay, half the methods of making explosives in there don't work. The other half are blow yourself up methods,
Yep.
which are designed to leave trace evidence that a fucking forensic expert would be able to test. It's like, well, they got the Anarchist Cookbook.
Yep. The Anarchist Cookbook, for those of you who don't know, was written by an angry guy who didn't want to go to Vietnam. I mean, that's all of it. He was not an anarchist. He was not anything. He was a pissed off kid who didn't want to go to Vietnam. And now I have talked to explosives experts, and they laugh whenever they see like kids holding this book because half of them don't work and half of them will kill you.
Yeah. And smoking banana peels. Oh God.
Oh, I remember that when I was like 12. You just smoke banana peels, you can get high. No, but hey, that marker smells pretty good. Remember when you were a kid, they give you like, I think it was like magic marker and
Oh God, that smell I tried to get high off at the age of 6. It was great.
yes, and people would be like, my marker smells really good.
My one buddy took auto shop just so he could huff gas all day.
How were his brain cells?
Not very good at the end of it. 3 years, 180 days, huffing gas every day. And at the end of it, it's like, oh.
That's great.
It's just a shame that the show's creators went such a typical boring route with their metalhead. They should have made him Beavis.
Or they should have made him a complete fucking sociopath.
There we go. All of us metalheads, especially those who love 1980s metal, know that the portrayal of heavy metal fans as the worst kind of dicks is stupid and shows lack depth and originality. And you're still watching it if it lacks depth
It
and
depends.
originality.
I know metalheads who are the worst kind of dicks. I know metalheads who were really nice. I know metalheads who would steal stuff for me. That was nice. They even stole candy for me.
Yeah,
Someone actually sent me in the post candy that he stole from me for no reason.
See, me and Jeff had a pattern of stealing off each other. It's just how we rolled. And this was even before we got into metal, we were stealing off of each other. It wasn't until we got into drugs that we stopped stealing off each other.
I think it's supposed to be the opposite, the other way around. Oh, that's my dog.
Yeah. We were also the loners and weirdos. We just liked leather, Halloween, and big ass choruses. Yeah. And it's just a shame that a show so deep and original gave the other aspects of 80s music cool characters and gave us, well, this guy.
He sounds cooler than nerdy pervy guy or preteen psychic girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather hang around with some guy who like terrorizes people than I'm a preteen psychic girl.
Yeah, go shut up. I don't even care if the powers are real. You're just gonna keep boasting about them.
Yes. Well, you know what? I have the power. You know what? I my body is a fucking chemistry set. I could turn beer into urine.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what we call transmutation. You made a transmutation circle inside your own body and coupled it with the philosopher's stone in order to transmute beer into urine. Mm.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I don't know why you wanted to do this, but we did it, and it sucked as bad as I thought it would.
I only wanted to do it just to make fun of Metal Sucks, and because I wanted to make fun of, people talk about like the stereotypes of metal and such, and how people want metal to be portrayed. I mean, that's part of why I liked black metal, other than just the music, was because the people went out of their way to be evil. I mean, they glorified evil. It wasn't just, you know, death metal. Cannibal Corpse are really nice guys, actually. You've met them.
Yes, they are.
And they're none of them would actually think of doing anything. It's all just a horror movie to them. But then
Yeah.
you have people in black metal, and yes, there are fair few posers in black metal. A lot of them, most of them. But then you have people who have murdered people
Yep.
and burned down churches and all that good shit. So it's like, oh, this is, it feels more. I don't want to say real because I love death metal, but it feels more. Wow, they're sociopaths.
Yes, people I can actually empathize with.
Because
Good game.
you see a lot of these people, like, study shows that most metalheads are actually classically trained, sensitive people. It's like some are, but some want you dead.
Heavily armed man screams at police saying Trump ordered him to fight lizard people.
That explains everything. That explains everything. I've found the meaning
I
of
don't
life,
know.
and it is not.
I do not know if this is a satire site or not, but it is a good hour. It's called the Daily News Bite.
I don't know.
So whether this is fake or not, we're gonna dive right into it because it sounds like fun. A Washington State man recently stopped his Jeep Cherokee in the middle of a busy intersection. He then proceeded to get out of his vehicle and start waving an AK-47 around, raving about the lizard people. The reason he was so concerned about the lizard people, Donald Trump told him to fight them.
Oh my god, it's real. It's real.
Oh, good. That's the man's excuse, and he's sticking to it. Apparently, the guy was feeling a bit chubby and thought it would be a good idea to snort some meth and lose some weight. That sounds like a good idea. Not one I'd do, but hey, if you want to lose weight, that's one way to
Hey,
do it.
math, yeah, math, yeah.
And also ruin your facial features and everything else, but more power too if you want to be that fucking athletic. You'll learn to run and climb buildings too, like that guy was top of the roof screaming at people, waiting for the DEA to take him. We covered that last week, I believe.
Yes, we did.
The meth affected way more than his energy levels. That mixed his prescription morphine turned him into a street Alex Jones impersonator. When police arrived on the scene, not only did he have a loaded AK, but a loaded Ruger as well. This sounds like someone I would have partied with.
If Alex Jones actually went on to the fucking streets trying to fight lizard people, you'd watch that.
Oh hell yeah! That's like pay-per-view shit. I would put money to watch something like that. Lizard people.
That's the problem with Alex Jones. All he does is rant. He doesn't actually go to the street with a machine gun. Lizard people.
Mm-hmm. Remember, the waters turn the frogs gay.
Yes, they do.
His water filter's damn good, though. That's the power of a paranoid mind. That can purify the water so it's like only one molecule away from being distilled.
The thing I love about Alex Jones, really quick, is that people are just starting to realize, or maybe 2-3 years ago, this guy's been at it since the late 90s, like since 95. He was trying to sell like Y2K survival kits in Texas. And then he kind of disappeared after Y2K, and then 9/11 happened.
Yeah, that's lots of people dying is always good for business. That's what I call having immediate openings that I should apply for. He immediately put them back inside his vehicle when the cops showed up with guns of their own.
Oh, shit.
The man immediately laid on the ground and started to scream about sending in the news and about the lizard people as our patrol, and a trooper attempted to place him in handcuffs. He suddenly pulled away his arms and tried to resist being handcuffed while continuing to scream.
Lizard people!
The man went on to describe how President Trump had called his house in Eatonville. And, oh, God. This brings back a childhood memory. I typed the fucking letter because I was so amazed. I had an electronic typewriter, and I typed this letter that was supposed to be written by George the Animal Bush, trying to recruit people into the Secret Service and telling them to drink pretty much enough alcohol, go to the local pub across the street from me and drink enough alcohol that would kill them, then say this really weird line to like this one chick that I knew that went there. That was how they were going to get into the Secret Service or FBI or some bullshit. I don't know. I was a fucking kid. I just wanted to see what the fuck would happen. And I sent it to people I didn't like. Like, people that bitched at me for walking through their yards as I took shortcuts home from school.
Did anything actually come of that?
Oh, no. Nothing came of it because they didn't know where the fuck it came from. They just discarded it.
I think it'd be funny.
I put it in their mailboxes with a fucking unmarked envelope.
I still would have gone to the person and said it, and she'll just be like, "What drugs are you on?"
And warned him that the lizard people were coming and that the alpha dragon had already taken his family hostage.
The Alpha Dragon! All hail the Alpha Dragon.
He said he had stopped in the intersection because he was surrounded by the lizard people and needed to fight them as directed by the president.
I, for one, welcome a new robot, or Alpha Dragon overlords.
Yes, Alpha Dragon. Oh,
hey! It thing in Pathfinder.
The Alpha Dragon is a thing. It will be. I will make it a thing. It'll pop into existence towards the end of the campaign. It'll be like a DC 36.
Yo, motherfucker, I'm an Alpha Dragon.
He said he was screaming and making a scene in the intersection in order to attract the news vans, and so his story could be documented for history.
My story's gotta be documented for history.
Ah, math! Woohoo!
Alpha Dragon.
Alpha Dragon. Oh, God, this is glorious.
This character needs to be in Pathfinder somehow.
In addition to his guns, he had a wooden baseball bat and 5 loaded clips for the rifle. Apparently, the lizard people are sending in an army. I agree.
March of the lizard people.
The 54-year-old man is now being mentally evaluated. And people wonder why I say, it's our fucking mental health system that's gone to shit. 54 years old and he's this far off his rocker. And don't you think that... never mind.
He's insane, Jim.
Oh, God.
Yes, right? But hey, you know, I like that he's this far off his rocker. Because entertainment.
Oh, God. That's great shit. I love it.
Lizard people. Completely sane. Release them onto the streets.
Yes.
But sir, hey, I'm the doctor.
Let's see here. There we go. Man reportedly defecating off Patterson Bridge rail rail bridge forced into river. That's glorious.
Oh shit! He flushed himself.
Yes, he flushed himself. A man reportedly defecating from a freight rail bridge in Patterson was forced into the Passaic River by an oncoming train Monday night, but emergency workers fished the screaming victim out of the cold water and took him to the hospital for treatment.
Why are you screaming, sir? I'm in Passaic, New Jersey. Ah!
A spokesman for New York, Susquehanna, and Western Railway confirmed that one of his trains hit someone, but weren't able to provide any details about the incident. An employee on the slow-moving train saw the man on the tracks on the bridge near 4th Avenue with his pants down around his ankles and attempted to stop the train before striking him, authorities said.
I'm defecating off a bridge.
Police reports from the scene were not clear on whether the man jumped into the river to avoid getting hit or if he was knocked into the river by a train.
I just love the. What are you going to do today? I'm going to shit off a bridge.
A fighter did sustain injuries to his leg, but was unsure how serious they were in the attempt to save the man.
Shitting off a bridge.
Shitting off a bridge. Da-di-da-di-da.
That just sounds like something I want to do.
Commerce City teacher resigns after posting classroom message that said, "I want to kill children."
I want to kill children. I want to kill them all.
Silent reading. I want to kill children, but I am a Christian man who would never hurt a flea, so please sit down and read. That sounds just like a teacher that's tired of the kid's shit, and he can't do anything else, so you might as well jump to the next level. You fucking tied his hands.
Yay. I want to kill children, but I'll get fired, so sit down and shut up.
Yeah. A Commerce City middle school teacher has resigned after projecting a message on a classroom screen that read in part, "I want to kill children." And that's all you're stating there, but I just read the fucking full picture.
Yes. I want to kill children too.
School officials placed Chris Berghart, an 8th grade teacher at Ohio East Stewart Middle School, on administrative leave on December 5th after he posted the message. He resigned on Friday, apparently overstressed, working with a bunch of kids that just want to fucking run around and will fucking make him lose his job anyway if he does anything to discipline them, like even 5 minutes worth of detention without even laying a hand or raising his voice 2 decibels too loud. That'll get you fired these days.
Everything will get you fired.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, I mean, when I was in class, they had a huge thing about not recording the teachers because people would record the teachers and take them out of context and take some of the shit out of context and get people fired. I remember there was a guy who he was fired for, I think it was like religious intolerance or whatever, because he said that the Christian version of evolution, i.e. creationism, was wrong. It turned out that it was a debate. This guy had debated a creationist for 45 minutes in class as part of a fucking, debate thing. But the creationist had taken the words out of context. Well, he disagreed with, he's, besmirching my religious beliefs, and they fired him. That's, yeah. So there was a huge thing when I was coming up through about 6th grade through about 8th or 9th when it's kind of started down. If anyone heard you were like, if anyone saw you recording something, they will get pissed. Of course, no one actually knew that my computer was capable of recording, so I actually did record the teachers every time they start screaming at someone and play them back for my friends later on. So you can get away with a
Meanwhile,
lot of things if you're blind.
meanwhile, in 5th grade, I got paddled for not doing my homework for an entire month. I enjoyed the paddling, but still, I was paddled for not doing my homework.
Only a
And that
month?
teacher would, yeah, only a month. Well, I also refused to do the writing assignment that was supposed to be homework. Up to I had to write it, 100 times, which is like, a 3-page several paragraphs, 3 pages long. I had to rewrite it my own handwriting 100 times at this point because the first time I didn't do it, and I didn't do any of the other fucking assignments, and it was great. And that's why I
You
was
want to talk about how great it is being blind? I had to write. It was I don't know, it was some sort of fucking thing about 10 times. So I copied and pasted 10 times on the fucking braille note. Nobody was, and I think I spent the next 90 minutes listening to music. Oh yeah, I'm writing. Click, click, click. People didn't know shit about being blind. It was great.
That's great.
I got away with so much.
Mm.
Just because people, like I said, the thing about the recording, nobody knew that I could record, so just click, and then whenever someone would, because we had this teacher who would like explode, like full on, like cursing, profane, threatening. It just so every time I sensed him getting mad, just press, "You fucking asshole, kid." Fucking, and he didn't know what I was, and he actually liked me. That was the cool thing. He actually liked me. He was like, you're one of the few not assholes here. Wish you do your work more, but
Oh, well, at least you're not that much of an asshole. And you embrace being an asshole to boot, so that's got to say something about the other kids.
well, yeah, the other kids were, yeah, but oh god, I wish I had those recordings.
The note on projected on the screen said silent reading. I want to kill children, but I am a loving Christian man who had never heard a flea sick. So please sit down and read.
See, mine would go, I want to kill children, but if I do, I'll go to jail because apparently your worthless lives are sacred or some shit. So please sit down and shut up before I decide it's worth the jail time.
Mm-hmm. There we go. That's how you get the kids' attention.
Or just have like a machine gun, like just stored under your desk, and every time they start, just kind of, oh god.
A student took a picture of it, pissed his pants, and the principal talked to him after he admitted to writing it. Berghart might have been feeling frustrated with his students when he typed and displayed the message. He is very well liked, so it is unfortunate, but we don't stand for anyone making threatening remarks.
That's not a threatening remark. He said he won't. To me, a threatening remark would be like, I want to kill children, and god damn it, if they keep doing this, I will.
And what you take is like a piece of child's flesh and flay it off, and then you add some lemon to it while you're putting it in the frying pan. Make certain that they're screaming the whole time. It just tastes so much sweeter while they're screaming.
And I'll know if someone takes a fucking picture of this. I'll know
Yeah.
who it is.
Mm-hmm. Fabrico Velez, the school principal, informed parents of the suspension in a letter that said in part, it was reported to me by a parent that Mr. Berghart had projected a message on the board that frightened some of our raptors. This parent probably has lots of money and will sue us if we do not do something about this. I can assure you that no student was in danger at any time. I will communicate back to you once we review the facts and come to a final decision. We will fire this man just so we don't get sued. Please, please don't sue us. If at any time you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to me via email or telephone. Please do not go to the media with this. Oh, God, I don't want the lawsuit.
Oh, little fucker. You know, that teacher was right. In fact, I'm going to kill you right now. Daddy, no!
No, in another little letter to parents, 27th Jurisdiction Superintendent Chris Fielder called Bergert's post unacceptable. It is my firm belief that at no time, under any circumstances, is it acceptable to threaten or harm our students.
I disagree. I think it's always acceptable to threaten or harm students.
I am a complete pussy. So I must state that this is not to be done as a teaching tool, not as venting frustration, and not as a joke, because I must cower in fear at everything and foster fear in the hearts of
Here,
my students.
Tommy, you didn't do your homework. You know, you know what the mafia would do if you didn't do what they said? Here, let me show you.
As you dump cement all over them and then just plunge them into the river.
uh, I don't know if you heard. We were talking. Scott and I were talking about different Santa myths, and there's Krampus, which is overdone, but the Disney version says he eats kids. The actual the German version says that what he does to the naughty kids is he wraps them in a burlap sack and throws them in the river.
That's beautiful.
That's some mafia level shit right there. You have been a bad boy. Time to die.
Some parents who posted on the school's Facebook page expressed disappointment over his resignation, as they should.
But my child deserves to be killed. Excuse me, sir? My child's a bastard.
My daughter is so upset about this. She felt Mr. Berghardt was and is a great teacher. We do not support this decision, one mother wrote.
My daughter thought Mr. Burkhart was a good teacher.
The woman couldn't be reached for comment on Monday afternoon.
Because she was too busy sniffing coke.
Brandy Tater Waterhouse posted a call on the school's Facebook page for those who support Berghardt to email school officials about their objections to his loss.
Dear Mr. School, I support Chris Burkhart because I realize that students deserve to be murdered. In fact, I think we should just murder them all. Kill them all. Sincerely, Elliot Lindemood.
Reached by phone, she declined to comment. These are good decisions not to comment to the fucking media in this instance, because all they're going to do is fucking twist your words because they've already positioned themselves for a death sentence.
Yay, death sentences are fun.
Oh, God, I remember when my one buddy, Harry, was out filming and he saw something and he was just going to say, I would have said this at the news station until it was a UFO. Because he didn't know what the fuck it was, but it was something weird. And because we were familiar, he was familiar enough with, like, you know, the way news anchors worked, he made certain they could not twist his words. And it ended up being a very, very short interview because they were trying to get him to say it was a UFO. 18 times on camera. Do you think it's a UFO? I don't know what it is. Do you think it's a UFO? I don't know what it is. Do you think it's a UFO? Wording it different ways just to try to trip him up. And he just kept saying, I don't know what it is. It was just there.
I think it's a flying crotch, actually.
Oh, it ended up being like some sort of fly.
It's a dismembered flying penis that wishes to jizz on the world.
But still, they tried to get him to say it was a UFO, so that way they had their soundbite. He looked like some crazy bad filming things in the middle of a field for no reason. Whenever he did drop, you know, the show's name he was working for, saying it was a show he was working on, a project he was working on. No, they cut all that out and just made it look like he was some crazy old man filming in the middle of a field for no reason.
Which I would honestly embrace just because. I think it was UFO. It told me to go kill news anchors.
Kill news anchors, I'm doing. That's why I called you here today.
Goodbye,
Mr. Friendly. Hey, could you think it's on the fucking CB back to the place? Hey, could you send more news anchors out here? I think there's a news anchor down.
Oh my God.
And for people who think freedom of press means it should only be held by the major corporations, fuck you.
Yay, freedom of press.
Yeah. There should only be an accredited agency that has freedom of press. Fuck you. You just want corporations to rule the world. And then you sit out there and protest against corporations because they're big and evil. What kind of fucking hypocrite are you?
Corporations already do rule the world, so you're pretty much, your cause has been lost.
Yes, what you should be doing is doing what the Unabomber did. Smoke pot. I said bonger, not bomber.
Yes, I think we should do what the Unabombers did. Send bombs to computer stores because you can't get laid.
German father finds fake Lego figures dressed as Nazi SS soldiers for sale on Amazon.
And he says, it reminds me of the pictures I saw of my dad back in the war.
German father has started a petition against Amazon after finding fake Lego figures dressed as Nazi soldiers for sale on the website.
I want these for Christmas.
What? You can't have G.I. Joe fighting Cobra anymore? It's just got to be G.I. Joe now? You can only have
no,
villains.
Jim. Now they're Asian.
Okay, whatever.
Now it's G.I. Joe fighting the Chinese or the North Koreans.
Oh, lovely. I'm after our jobs.
that would be great. G.I. Joe's
can actually
catchphrase.
do the math that my gender studies degree can't fucking compensate for. So now I gotta fucking they're going after my jobs. Get them Asians.
G.I. Joe's catchphrase. They took our jobs. Welcome to racism.
Manuel Hagel from Cologne was looking for child-friendly gifts for his family at Christmas and was shocked to come across. He did. These are family-friendly. You're gonna have people come. All you gotta do is have the U.S. soldiers showing up to fucking kick their asses.
Well, yeah, or you can always have the tables reversed. I mean, Varg Vikernes has always got the German soldiers when he was a kid because his friend always liked the American soldiers, so he always got to play the Germans.
And was shocked to come across figures dressed as World War II soldiers, complete with banned Nazi symbols on their uniforms and helmets.
Well, yeah, they I mean, I don't know if you ever had a set of like American and German soldiers, but I know some of my friends did.
The toys with names like Heinz and Wolfgang are recommended for children from the age of 7. These are great. Hold on a second. Screen share.
Yes! Welcome to the Nazi show.
Look at this shit. Tell me, anyone watching this, if this thing's still able to be commented on, we are banned, have one show banned. This is probably going to be another. I mean, seriously. This
bad thing
fucking,
is,
what?
I'm listening to Screwdriver at the moment.
Oh, God. One was described as custom-designed Lego figure Wehrmacht soldier Heinz, machine gun shooter with helmet, MG-34 machine gun with 2 legs and detachable magazine.
Cool.
That's cool. That magazine would have been lost, but, you know, that's the way kids play, you know? Fucking, yeah. I just got done watching Hogan's Heroes, God damn it. This would go well with that. I saw from Hogan's Heroes, and you're going to deny Hogan's Heroes? You fucker. The seller from Frankfurt used Amazon Marketplace as a distribution channel for its Nazi figures.
Well, yeah, and then you buy American figures and you can have them square off. Heinz versus fucking Billy Jack and his fucking...
Yeah, really. I mean, just look at this shit. You got the fucking Iron Cross on him, and this is the medic, man, and he's got a pistol, and he's packing.
Besides, everyone uses the Iron Cross now.
Yeah, fucking everyone does. It's lost its meaning, which is good. Oh, there's the Iron Eagle. Yeah.
Say it. Iron Eagle flies again.
Dun 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 dun.
See Heil.
Oh God, what pussies! These figures represent one of the most inhumane regimes in the world history, and by playing with them, the children accept these uniforms, weapons, etc. as normal, which represents an unacceptable influence on the children.
I have a copy right
Fighting
there.
Fighting evil is an unacceptable influence on the children. Protesting against evil is an unacceptable influence on the children. Keep that in mind. That's what this guy just said. You can't fight evil.
Well, and a lot of kids learn history by playing with soldiers. Hey, Hans, did you know that these soldiers were real? Really? Yes. And did you know they actually did some horrible things? Huh.
Yeah, and try to get people to understand that kids learn through play, and it just goes over their heads. It's like whenever I was talking to someone about fucking Halloween costumes, they're like, "Oh my god, the Halloween costumes are so oppressive." I'm like, dude, you realize that this could start discussions about other cultures? Oh, but we can't have that.
Also, I have an
But you're
interest in.
complaining that it's discriminatory against this culture without letting the kid ask questions about it. How does that work?
Yes. Also, I have two models of planes on my desk. One's a Stuka and one's a Japanese Zero. So I'm a Nazi Japanese communist.
Yay!
And a Panther tank over there, which we built. It's a model that you have to put together. So I'm a Nazi.
I remember playing 1943, the Battle of Midway, on my Nintendo Entertainment System. It was one of my very first video games.
Yes.
Just flying around that fucking P-38. I had a fucking thing for P-38s for a couple years because of that shit.
I still have a thing for the P-38. I think it's a fucking great plane, and it looks good too.
Oh yeah, and I had such a hard time with it that I fucking tried to design a stealth fortress model that was meant to be like a Harrier kind of thing to zap in behind enemy lines unnoticed, drop troops in, and then pick them up all unnoticed and take off. You're supposed to have like a full
Yeah.
contingent of troops living inside there. It was fucking great.
I every time I play World War II games, I'd either do the P-38 or the P-51 Mustang, another one of my favorite planes. That is just a great looking plane right there.
For this
12
reason,
cylinders.
For this reason, I urge you to take action against the manufacturers of such figures, so that way children will never stand up against evil. If possible, legally. And also draw attention of Amazon to this case, because any decent citizen will have the horrible notion that such figures will be evil for kids to have the good guys fight. And will be under the Christmas tree, and thus could fall into the hands of children. The petition has so far drawn 500 signatures. We're going strong. We're going to build that river. Dig me a river.
Build the damn wall. I mean, what?
We're almost free. We got about 200 feet, Doug. Almost free.
People say that Maurice Chavez loses his temper, but look what he had to deal with. I'd lose my temper if I had to deal with that.
Meanwhile, the manufacturer of Lego has spoken out and says the figure is revealed as fake. As a toy manufacturer, imagination and ingenuity are a passion, and we see it as our task to promote the imagination and creativity of children with high-quality toys. This product shown is not a Lego product. We dissociate ourselves in all forms from such products and product modifications because they contradict the values of the Lego Group. The Lego Group would never produce or authorize these products, nor can we endorse them, as if it's not known that you wouldn't.
I just, when I was a kid, I used to get, models of planes, as I still do now, of like German, warplanes, and nobody ever gave it a second thought, because German, I always liked warplanes and tanks, still do.
All right.
Nobody ever gave it a second thought. And now everything's a second thought. I guess I get it because it's Germany and that's, kind of happened in their, hometown. But still, it's 71 years ago, dude.
All right. One last one. I don't even know how long I've been sitting on this one. But man shooting woman in vagina during sex game.
Oh, come on. We have to do one more after this. That's the man steals wheels from van.
Okay. A 46-year-old woman has sustained injury when a 47-year-old man shot her in a vagina during a hand-strung sex game in a hotel room in English Stockport. That proved to be the case when the shooter, David Andrew Jeffers, had to appear.
Well, we were just fucking around, and I took my gun and I shot her in the pussy. And
Gotta grab that pussy with a firearm. He must have been in prison for 10 years when he admitted that he had a firearm with the intention of endangering human life. According to the defense, the two were entangled in a sex fantasy when it was misunderstood, according to the BBC. The police who came to the scene, however, called it shocking and horrific, which a
what
lot
the
of
fuck sex fantasy involves shooting someone in the pussy? That's I want to know.
I don't know. But dear God. In the early hours of Tuesday, January 31st, last year, it went wrong at Britannia Hotel on Dialstone Lane. When the emergency services arrived, they saw the victim lying in a large pool of blood and having several abdominal wounds, apparently in the throes of orgasm. The woman was urgently taken to the hospital where she needed extensive operations, according to the police. The woman said to agents at her hospital bed that Jeffers was a bad man.
I think she meant a bad fuck.
Jeffers from Leeds said he had found the gun in a toilet from a pub in Leeds.
Things to do. Oh, look what I found shit in the bathroom, but nothing that I'd ever pick up.
But just think about it. If that was true, this means someone ditched a murder weapon and he just picked it up and decided to shoot someone with a murder weapon that was used in another crime previous. Because that's like the story of like someone ditching a murder weapon. I just chucked it in the toilet. Now this fucker found it, put his prints all over it. Good. It's gonna be even harder to trace back to me.
And now he's done something horrible.
Good. They'll spend less time looking for me.
It was actually Jim who ditched the weapon, and Jim flew to England, ditched the weapon, and the guy found it.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It was cold outside. He would have taken the gun to Manchester to throw it away. Wait, so it would have just kept going.
Why did you just leave it in the toilet?
Could you imagine this cycle if you would have thrown it away after doing this and then someone else picked it up? Now it's got 3 crimes connected to it.
Why not just leave it in the toilet, though?
I just kept going around. Different people picked it up. It's like, you know what? I'm going to shoot someone with this.
You know what? I feel like shooting someone.
Like it's just got this mystical spell on it. It automatically makes you want to shoot people in the pussy.
That needs to be a thing in a game. A gun that just...
Well saved, DC-24.
And God forbid if a woman...
you suffer a compulsion that forces you to shoot someone in the pussy.
And God help if a woman picks it up. All of a sudden she wants to pick another woman up. She's like, I'm not even a lesbian. I just
had to shoot someone in the pussy. That helps narrow down the what? Narrow down the competition for the men, you know.
God.
Security pictures show Jeffers leaving the hotel and picking the train through Leeds to Piccadilly station. 2 days later, he was arrested in a house in Leeds. There was a letter in which he denied having something to do with the shooting. But he was a bad man.
He's a bad, bad man, he is. Yes.
That sounds like kink lingo. He's a bad man. Bad,
And
bad
your
man.
pisses and
He
ejaculations
spanks my booty.
and her orgasms will never be the same.
Agent Roger Edwards, who came to the spot, described the incident as horrific. A woman has been injured for the rest of her life. Jeffers left her in a hotel room without any respect for her life.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what you do when you panic.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, I just shot someone. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Wait, but me. Don't worry, I'll bleed out in a minute.
During the lawsuit, Edwards said that it must have been a traumatic time for the victim, and that it is horrible to relive the horror of that day.
A traumatic time. No, just got shot in the pussy. It's okay.
It's okay. All right, where are you? All right, fine. We'll do this one. Man found dead under van that fell on him while trying to steal wheels.
Jim, was this one of your friends? Was this one of your old friends?
Hold on a second. There is a cross underneath that wheel. It is the sign of Christ. Jesus hated this man.
Was this one of your friends, Jim?
Well, this is in Pittsburgh too.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted you to share it. That's why I wanted.
This is glorious. Jesus hated this man. Remember that.
Did Jesus hate? I think Jesus hates Pittsburgh.
He probably does. A man who had apparently tried to steal wheels from a van was found dead Tuesday morning in Pittsburgh with the vehicle on top of him, authorities said.
I mean, how fucking stupid do you have to be? Like, okay, I could do it if you had like a jack or a lift or something. I'll go steal wheels from a van. This is like total southern redneck.
Yeah, but this is in Pittsburgh, so it's inbred redneck. And we ain't that far from fucking West Virginia.
So it's one of your relatives?
I think we're like, number 2 in the inbred nation list. I mean, fuck, we used to have a circular going around here called the Pennsylvania Family Connection, which was nothing but stories about incest.
All right, well, we already got banned from mentioning incest once. Might as well do it again.
May as well. Pittsburgh police responded to a call about a fatal shooting in Homewood. Oh, I figures it would be Homewood.
Why? What's that?
That's our almost ghetto. I mean, I've been to actual ghettos to know that it's not a real ghetto, but for people around here, that's what a ghetto would be. So it's a bad neighborhood, but not as bad as it can get.
That's okay.
It's actually nowhere near as bad as it can get. Like, you're not going to get shot for wearing the wrong color. According to the investigation, it's believed that the male victim was attempting to steal the wheels from a van when the vehicle fell on top of him, said a statement in the city's public safety department.
I just love I'll go steal wheels from a van.
The body has not yet been identified. Police were continuing to investigate. I need some wheels. I hate you, my son. Oh, God. Okay, that's the article.
Yes. By the way, the band Crucifier I showed you, I did not realize they're from Pennsylvania, a town called Boothwyn.
I'll have to see if that's on my side of the state or the other side.
Delaware County.
That's the other side.
Okay, but still, Pennsylvania actually has some good metal.
Yeah, depending upon where. It's here and there.
Actually, if a lot of Asheron incantation, I'll give you a list later. Anyway, is that all?
That's all.
Okay. Okay, this has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode, I think it's 135, I think, for the 14th of December, 2017. You can still email us at cosmicgodsdie at gmail.com. Facebook is still Swine Brothers, and Twitter is SwineBros666. Not that I check Twitter. For the gym, I've been Elliot Lindemood. See you later.
Dear God, people are still sharing their phone numbers because of the FCC decision. Publicly, too. It's beautiful. Enjoy, people.
And that's how you get to llama school.